Hi, I'm Krishna and this is Gray Area. In this episode we're going to be designing a low table inspired by memories of playing board games with friends. Let's start drawing. Alright, so this is what our table looks like in our house about a year ago. This table had 4 sides like any other table, and we would have like late nights, typically on Fridays, where we'd call up as many friends as possible and we would get some people together to play games like Secret Hitler. The nice thing about this table was, or the funny thing is that it's actually a coffee table. It had these really awkward, annoying bars that ran on the floor that we would always hit our feet onto and stuff, so. It's funny, like, it's kind of a weird thing in the US to sit on the ground and play, but I think it's a really comfortable thing. I wanted to compile some images to create a mood and a visual experience of what I'm trying to go after. I was kind of inspired by the social distancing circles in the park of Domino Park in Williamsburg, one of the parks that I loved visiting during my internship over in Brooklyn. I wanted to take this idea of circles representing people and push that into a table that gives some space for very intense gameplay of playing board games like Secret Hitler. Some of these legs are like purposefully breaking the form, like from going from circles into having completely rectangular forms. Going into the detail, I really wanted the edges of these tables to have a very like soft taper so that it feels like it's way thinner than it actually is from above. So you really get that graphic sense that it's just 4 circles. The legs that I've been looking into are incorporating the storage space in the bottom, and some of the ones that I found interesting during the sketching phase was this cut cylinder, as well as these 4 legs with a possible storage space in the middle. This table in reality is really short. To have some storage space in there would be really a nice surprise, and you would never see it from above. Now going into Illustrator, I wanted to perfect that Clover kind of form that I was going after, this very heavy graphic. This project is very much about this graphic symbol, so I wanted to make it just perfect. I was really debating whether or not I should keep this interior space, or that white space in the middle of the 4 circles, and I ended up keeping it because I wanted like an interesting experience of like possibly having flowers or having things peek out of there. When I design, I like to get inspiration from a lot of different places. Because it's quarantine, it's a little bit difficult to go and visit things in the real world, but thanks to beautiful books and the internet, we get to have something at least. Now going into Rhino, I built some variations of the legs. I wanted to show you guys what they look like before I delete them all. These 2 on the right are very squarish and kind of inspired by like tatami rooms themselves. The second one to the left is actually my favorite one. This last one to the left is a little too cutesy, I think, and kind of similar to something I've made in the past. I wanted to make something different in this case. So I went for a very classic 4-leg look, where from a direct side view, it might just look like a stem going into a leaf. Here's some process of making the top more sculpted, having those like nice soft tapers over the edges that you see. In between each of these circle pieces are these are these blocks so that this is how they would connect actually. One would fit into the other, and so it's not one giant piece of wood but 4 smaller pieces of wood that all connect and slot in together. And here's the final CAD version. Now moving over to Blender. This is currently my favorite rendering software just because it's so adaptive and you can do so many different things with it. It took some time to learn because I've been used to things like V-Ray and Keyshot, but this is something that I can have on my own device, so I'm really enjoying that. I like to use Photoshop as a little retouching editor to add little details like flowers and textures that I didn't get to do in the rendering. Hope you guys enjoy.